Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair is written and directed by Quentin Tarantino and is in theaters nationwide for the very first time. The bride, played by Uma Thurman, must kill her ex-boss and lover, Bill, who betrayed her at her wedding rehearsal, leaving her for dead. But first, she must make the other 4 members of the deadly Viper assassination squad suffer. So for the uninitiated, Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair is Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2, previously released as 2 separate films, made into one, which is how Quentin Tarantino originally wanted the film to play. This is his 4th film in its entirety. It's over 4 hours long. It includes a 15-minute intermission. Things that were edited the first time around, like a very bloody sequence that was made black and white, is now presented in full color. And there's an extended anime sequence, which is awesome. And I'm always fighting for the big screen experience, which is why I was so excited to finally see Kill Bill in the theater, because I was not allowed to see it when it first came out. Obviously, I was still in that religion and very, very controlled, and there was no way I was ever going to go to the movies to see this. I think I saw it for the very first time on TV, edited for content, so you know that I missed a lot of this movie the first time around. It was great to see the whole thing as it was originally intended, and also rather transformative, because it's weird to experience something as a whole that you've normally viewed as 2 parts, that in your head plays that way. The ending of Volume 1, and I guess I'll get into spoilers here, so just in case you have never seen Kill Bill 1 or 2 or The Whole Bloody Affair, there will be spoilers throughout this entire video. But the ending of that movie does feel like a climax. The fight with the Crazy 88s and Oren Ishii, played by Lucy Liu, it feels like, okay, we are here now. We've gotten to this ending. And so even though there is an intermission, I did have to recalibrate my brain to how I've always consumed this film in the past as 2 films. And the intermission does something kind of interesting, because it does sort of still feel like you're watching Volume 1 and 2, because there's a 15-minute break. That being said, there are teaser clips and previews and recaps of both movies that are taken out here. And so it does play like a more streamlined experience, which I loved. I loved losing all that stuff. Believe it or not, I've never reviewed the Kill Bill movies. I really enjoy both of them. I know that a lot of people prefer the first one over the second, because the first one has a lot more action. It has what is probably the most iconic sequence in both of the films, or in this case, the one film. I'm going to struggle with that because, again, I got to recalibrate my brain. The Crazy 88's fight sequence. Uma Thurman decked out in her Bruce Lee Game of Death outfit, just slicing and dicing and kicking so much butt. It's incredible. This sequence still is mind-blowing. The stuff that they achieved on film with Uma Thurman and the brilliant stunt woman Zoe Bell and all of these amazing stunt people. This is definitely one of the best fight sequences I've ever seen, and it maintains its status as legendary. Of course, Tarantino is inspired very much by old kung fu movies and samurai films, the television shows of the 1970s. There's music from Ironside throughout this whole film. Every time we zoom in on Uma Thurman's eyes, these are the things that have always inspired him. Sergio Leone movies, of course. And he's using all these inspirations and ways to create something that feels very much his and new and fresh. Even all these years later, it still feels very different from anything we get now. And Uma Thurman remains absolutely luminous here. She is mind-blowingly good as this character. She is so great in all of the action scenes, but she has such an intensity to her eyes and the looks that she gives. She doesn't have to say anything, and we feel so much out of her. Taken as one film, it's overwhelming. The amount of work that went into this film is absolutely staggering. The cinematography is amazing. Everything in this film looks just beautiful. Tarantino's style of telling things in chapters, but also non-linear. It opens with chapter 1, but then it says 2, like we're later into the story and something else has already happened before. Vivica A. Fox and Uma Thurman face off in a kitchen, and when she crosses out her name, you notice that she's already crossed out Oren Ishii. It does remove some of the tension knowing that she's going to complete this mission, but it's also the type of thing where you expect a certain thing to happen. You don't necessarily know exactly how it's going to happen, and it's fun to watch the journey. You're aware of what the destination is going to be. It's the journey that's all the fun. The latter half of this movie, or what it was previously Volume 2, features her training, her capture by Michael Madsen, a showdown with Daryl Hannah in a trailer, which is my second favorite fight sequence in this entire film after the Crazy 88s. Something else I really appreciate about this film, amongst all of Tarantino's filmography, is that he has a way of building items that feel like they're iconic within his universe, whether that's his Red Apple cigarettes or, in this case, a Hattori Hanzo sword, a person who is just so world-renowned for making the greatest samurai swords ever. And he doesn't do it anymore. He swore a blood oath to never make a sword again, never make an object that kills another person. But he does it for Uma Thurman. I love whenever a movie can make an object or an item feel like, hey, I kind of want that. Home Alone 2's Talk Boy, for instance. In this case, you're not going to buy a Hattori Hanzo sword in a Target, which I guess makes it even cooler. So I guess the real question is this the definitive way to watch Kill Bill going forward? I think if it's the way the filmmaker wants the film to be watched, then it is. That being said, there are cases in the past where I also don't necessarily agree with that. I really wish that I could just buy the original Star Wars trilogy on Blu-ray and watch those as George Lucas originally made them, but that's really hard to do. So I don't always feel that way. But I do think that out of respect for the filmmaker, you should at least watch it the way they want you to see it once. And then you can decide if you want to watch Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2 separately, and if it matters to you at all. I don't think that it's a mammoth, gargantuan, a word that is used in this film, difference in regards to how you're consuming them. Because of that intermission, there is still that feeling of 1 and 2, and there's a little bit of extra material, obviously, and removal of the black and white is fantastic for the extra gory sequence. But I think you can get just as much enjoyment out of Volume 1 and Volume 2 separately, as I'm sure you have since they've been released. But also, if you're a film purist and you get a chance to see this, especially on film, projected, then definitely don't miss the whole bloody affair. It is incredible. Guys, thank you so much, as always, for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.